Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Dave. So, to continue the conversation of large-scale endgame org activities, let's go back to Pyro 3, where the ground bases were being built earlier today. This morning, we saw the small habitat being built by Luke. And then we saw Deck start to expand the base
And now
into
it's
a
a
commercial
giant city
enterprise. But eventually, we saw a massive example of an org base. But with everything Rich was talking about, with org system-wide activities, we want to give you guys the ultimate end goal. But also the thing we need to protect. And to do that, let's look up into the sky and see what it is.
Ah, finally we have a little video. All right. Gee, this is massive. All of that will be player-made. So what's out there in the sky? Was that a satellite? Oh, that's the new boost system. Boost or quantum? So, what are we looking at here? That's the shield, right? I think it's the shield satellite. Yeah, there's a Polaris up there. A couple of Hull C's, Carax. Yeah, because you're going to have to deposit the resources to get the tokens. It's got hangars. Well, I suppose you can dock a Hull C to it. Maybe. Or maybe they use the MPUV cargo. Oh, you got the windows there to look outside, see what's happening. Hangars, it has hangars. Yeah, that's what I thought. You can dock with the Hull C.
Let me introduce you to player space stations. Finally, you can build your home amongst the stars. This will be the starting point for your base of operations for system-wide org activities. But why is this an end goal? Well, first of all, to construct your own space station, it's going to require vast quantities of resources and materials. And also will be a large time investment. But how do we start?
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you're going to be doing on your own, right?
Well, it all starts with the supply bay. And the supply bay can only be constructed by the Pioneer.
Oh? So you have to use a Pioneer to construct the supply bay in that satellite up there.
Once it's created, the supply bay then handles the creation of the station itself. Now, we're in gray box development phase, so the artwork's not final, but let's go on a journey.
Are we talking about player stations here? I'm not sure I understand. I thought this was the shield in the air that protects the station. This is like the player station that we are building. So, wait a second. Are we going to build our own base? I'm not sure. I think I'm failing. You can see the trolls. I cannot imagine we're going to build our own stations in space. I mean, I would love it. We'll be able to make space stations, right? I didn't hear that, Diplo, so that's what it is. We'll make our own space stations. Because of course, right? Why just in the ground? So this is like the space building builder from space that we saw earlier on the ground, but in space, and that will be building the station with this road. This is so... Wow.
Awesome. Awesome. So as you saw, the cargo grid of the supply bay consumes resources. And the required resources will be substantial and will need to be topped up over time. So this means orgs will be encouraged to have efficient logistic networks to feed the supply bay. And as Rich outlined with professions, it's ideal if your org is well-rounded in terms of roles. Even the starter player can contribute. The supply bay has automated construction zones, which are used to create the station. And
this is only going to be for the big orgs, though, but
many
still.
drones are used at once.
Yeah, they can be
the base.
destroyed and attack how...
Once the station is built, the supply bay then integrates into the station itself. So here we are. We've built our core station module, and it's big.
And it can be
out of the
expanded
box,
upon, right?
The station comes readily built with some core functionality. Let me talk you through it. Right on the top is the bridge, which is the command deck. This is where all further construction is going to be managed. From here, we can then monitor the status of the entire station.
Yes,
we have access to power and water
because
management.
in the end,
power and
it's going to be the core of the
is
game, right?
something
Without
you'll need to
player economy,
consider
there will be none of
carefully.
this.
It also
The
is an
idea is
area
to
to
let
set
the
permissions
players
for who can enter
build
particular areas,
the assets in the game
either
and
divided
make their
by
own
the ranks
stories,
of the org
build their
itself,
own gameplay.
or open to the public. And there'll be a radar station to track the activity outside the base. And the terminals to access logs of who has visited the station and see what they did. So let's jump back in game and take a stroll through our bridge.
What? And it's in gray box phase? So that means it's far advanced in terms of development if it's already in gray box. Yeah, it does a little bit. So that's basically the part you don't see when you go to a rest and relay, because you're just a customer and just pass by. This is the part that also the regular people who will go to your base are not supposed to see. Make the Death Star cow? I'm not so sure. I'm still blown away. I was not expected to see player-owned space stations that we can build. Because I remember a couple of years ago, Chris said he didn't want to see that in the game, but it's happening.
Super awesome. The back of the bridge leads to a centralized transit network. This spine physically connects the entire station and will provide access to the various decks.
So yeah, the elevator.
Each level in the station will have a centralized lobby area, and this is your station. You'll be able to use the decorator mode, so you'll have plenty of space to theme it however you want. And speaking of having plenty of space, this space station will have a one-to-one interior layout matching the exterior. No magic elevators.
Like the ones we have now. This is awesome. It's all going to be done by the players, which is great because then the devs don't need to do that themselves.
Around the entire perimeter, and it's wonderful. Okay, let's jump back in.
Ha! They've got a med runner there. It's all grey box, man. It's not even white box or pre-production. All the Atlas can go in. Oh, wow. They can even have the little PCB there. That's really cool. And that is how you properly get a player-run economy. What I hope is that we can also buy and sell commodities from up there
right at the bottom
down
of the central transit system
surface of planets.
To the lower areas. This is where you'll gain access to the engineering deck. So like bigger ships, this is where all the hands-on engineering and maintenance gameplay happens. This will serve as the beating heart of your station. Then we have the hangar deck. And as the name implies, this is where you'll gain access to your hangar network. The base station comes with a large hangar already built, along with 2 docking collars, and also empty slots for another 2 medium hangars when needed. There will be a vast network of internal road systems, meaning you can quickly drive from one hangar to the other. No elevators needed.
Yes.
Let's check back in.
Good. Nobody wants these flimsy elevators, right? So we'll be able to finally use these PTVs and STVs for something. Are we gonna have real ATCs? There's no way players are going to become their own ATCs. Are we gonna have to manually open and close the doors? No. Yes, Cal, that's a very good point.
All right, so your station hangar will offer some enhanced logistics. For example, there'll be spaces for several freight elevators. And there'll be empty modules for open ship parking for vehicles and ships, vehicles and ground vehicles. And there'll be also exit points where you can simply drive out into your station. Then there'll be also an upper level for the observation deck. From the observation deck, you'll have a control room. And from here, you'll have master control over the freight elevators and the vehicle elevators. This means that even before
So we
someone has
will
landed,
go to this room.
their new cargo can be up into the hangar and ready to be loaded up.
Oh my gosh.
Now, everything we've spoken about so far is what comes with your station. Let's talk about what you can do to expand it.
So, these are, for
As I
sure,
mentioned
some of them will
before,
be
the
massive.
station comes with a predetermined interior network of corridors and roads. And in this network, you'll find an array of bulkhead connectors. Bulkhead connectors will come in tiers 1 to 3, which drives the size of room you're able to build. In the interior build mode, this is where you start to expand the interior of your station. The rooms will require resource and time to construct, and once built, you can rename each room, which will be reflected in the station's minimap.
So you can name it after the owner of the room,
The
for
interior
example,
of
or
your
the person
station
who's
will
supposed
have
to
ample
occupy it,
areas
perhaps.
for you to expand. You can build generic empty rooms, and you can fill with items to your heart's content. You can also build specialist rooms, where the theme and functionality is already set for you, such as mess halls or infirmaries or generator rooms. And of course,
Shops.
there are shops. So similar to the small shops we built around the ground base, this is on a much bigger scale.
Oh,
But that's just the interior. Let's talk about the exterior.
so what do we have? Turrets,
On the
shield
exterior,
generators.
we have minor hardpoints. These are attachment points located on the upper and lower surfaces of the station. Using build mode, you can customize your station with a variety of modules, which tailor it to specific functionality. Some modules cater towards resource collection, such as gas harvesters, while others are geared towards defense, like shields or turrets.
Yeah, you
This
see,
goes
look at those
back
turrets,
to
Cal.
bridge
You were
operations
talking about the Sherman
of
turrets.
power
These look pretty
management.
big as well.
A situation may arise where power priority is needed. Then we have major hardpoints. The core station module comes with 2 hardpoint connectors. Major hardpoints are used to connect substantial wing additions to your station. The first example.
There we go. That's where you're going to make your own trade hub.
Awesome, thank you. Awesome. The first example is the cargo wing. The cargo wing will dramatically increase your inventory capacity. So this is ideal for orgs
You have
who are specializing
tens
in
of
holding.
thousands of SCU.
Then we have the refinery wing. So you'll be able to refine resources on a vast scale. As it's in space, it's much more convenient than traveling to a ground base. Now, a player could buy resources from your cargo wing and then refine it directly in the refinery wing.
This is insane.
And
Yeah,
finally,
definitely
we have
that
the
is
hangar
the
wing.
end game, right?
So, all right.
And once you have several bases and you need to expand,
So, the bigger your fleet,
star bases
the
are going to be
more
the way to go.
hangars you'll want. There'll be a variety of hangar sizes as well as docking collars to help organize your fleet's deployment. All major hardpoint wings are connected via struts, and like the rest of the station, the struts are also internally traversable.
and you are going to have to use like the little PTV to go from one place
so
to
let's
another.
recap on the exterior expansion wings. Minor hardpoints give us options on how to collect resources.
Oh yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. You'll
provide
be able to drive
automated
through all of these
defenses
areas.
for your base.
They're all going to be connected.
Major hardpoints gives us options on how you can specialize your base. Let's jump back in game and see how our base is getting on.
Oh my gosh, they got that in footage. They got that on footage. I'm flabbergasted. This is just... I never imagined that we would see that in this season call. And this fleshed out already. So that means is if you want to create Port Olisar, you'll be able to do that. Create your own Port Olisar. I forgot who it was in the chat who said that all the bases looked like the same yesterday. But that's definitely a new style. Definitely looks more modern also in terms of design in Star Citizen. Well, you know, Cal, they're always going to be expanding and create new designs. They're gonna have to give a use for all these people who work in designing assets in the game. So for sure, there will be different styles. Outlaw style,
Pedro has been working with us
high-tech.
on this as well, so thank you. Looking cool. Customization is just as important as expansion.
There you go, Cal.
Similar to ground bases, you'll be able to earn tints for your station, and you'll be able to apply decals for your org logos. Outside of minor and major hardpoints, your station will come with 2 unique base expansion points. One on the top side behind the bridge, and one on the underside. The top side will be for the crow's nest.
Huh?
Now, all the other modules built so far have very specific functionality, but I'll admit, this is for the org members out there who want the ultimate in personal space.
For the boss. Is that what it is? Like you're the boss of the org and you've got your boss room on top? Yeah, it's like the Emperor's throne, right? Oh my gosh. I can already imagine the machinimas that will be filmed there. We definitely have our throne room for Star Citizen Wars. The return of the evil caddy, the evil emperor, will be there. Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expected. Okay, that is super badass. Like you build that for yourself on top of your own base. You won. Great place for a bar, says Diplo. Private bar. Drinks will be very expensive.
So
then.
I'm going to be flying around the verse, and I want personal invitations to see what you've done in those rooms, okay? Super cool. I can't wait to see what you do with it. Now let's talk about the underside. This is going to be for the flight deck, which also comes with an additional 3 major hardpoints. The flight deck is perfect for your rapid reaction forces. It's ideal for fighters, but big enough to fit most ships. It's the perfect home for your station's defensive air wing. And just like the hangars, there'll be an observation deck which can override freight elevators, making rearming quicker and easier during operations. So an org with a tight flight deck crew can be substantially more efficient than others. Now,
that is a lot
this one's
of space.
my favorite. Let's take a look.
They even have that in it. So the ships go in. It's like a massive hangar. It's like your own player hangar. You're making your own. They just made the same scene from the original trailer for Star Citizen in 2012. You can bring a constellation inside, easy peasy. Oh yeah.
All right.
Ah non, c'est beaucoup plus gros quand on regarde this. Beaucoup plus gros. It's much bigger than it
There's
is
a few little Easter eggs in that video. But why do you need a flight deck for your rapid defenses force? Well, if you've built your super awesome station in a super lawless system, now you're the potential targets for others. Everyone will have their eyes on your resources and wonder what gear you've got in your inventories.
Oh yeah.
And let's say we didn't win the station warfare bid that Rich mentioned. Let's take a look at the inevitable.
What? They've got the oh my gosh, they've got combat gameplay. There we go. What do we have here? Cutlass? Nah, it's going to get destroyed. Okay, they've got a hammerhead. That's just a little raiding party. Boom, there goes the torp. Of course you're gonna have to repair that, though, I suppose. See, Diplo, what we're going to be doing in the Pharaoh system. Oh my gosh. We need more people in the club. Oh, EVA! So they're going to be doing the hacking thing to get in the station, right? Wait, does that mean that we can seize player stations and capture them? Oh, there you go. Internal turrets. Yeah, hacking is definitely going to be an important skill.
Okay, so not
in the future.
only
You want to make
is
sure
your
these turrets don't shoot
station
at
a
us.
staging area for offensive campaigns, it's also a defensive fortress. The exterior of the station itself can take quite a beating. It's going to be very hard to damage. So the goal of attackers instead will be to punch a hole through the defenses and get inside. The optimal way to do this will be to infiltrate through the flight deck or EVA hatches and work your way up. Once inside, yes, once inside and you've cleared out a hangar, you may also want to consider airlifting in a tank or two to clear some corridors. Raiders will have to hack freight elevators or bulkheads in order to gain access. And of course, bring enough ships with them to start hauling out the loot. Gaining control of the
my
bridge
gosh, this
will
is
allow
going to be
access to
so
storage,
awesome.
which would otherwise be unhackable. So, as a defender, there are a variety of automated defenses you're able to install internally within the station, such as blast doors, which seal shut, systems to be breached, and a range of turrets like anti-vehicle or anti-personnel.
Yeah, it's called feature
These
creep,
will
but
all
they're
help
almost
slow
there,
down
right?
the
It's
attack
already in Greybox
and give
phase.
time for your reinforcements to show up.
It's what they've been doing in the past couple of years that
So
they're
let's
showing
do a
us
final
now.
recap. This is one of the end game goals for dedicated orgs, and will be your base of operations for system-wide activities. The station can be customized both in the interior and the exterior.
The hangar is going to be quite
meaning
big, so
you
if the
can
hangar
tailor
is
it
open,
to
they can
your
go
own
inside and drop a
requirements.
tank with a C2.
And it's your very own home amongst the stars. But wait. But wait.
What do they have now?
There's one more unique module we can build, and that is the dry dock.
Oh, yeah. So you build your own, Idris. Or your Leviathan, if you want.
This unique slot will be at the back of the station. It has its very own dedicated observation room with crafting stations, and has a transit tram which runs along the inside of the arms, leading to the docking collars where your ship will be constructed.
Oh my gosh.
So, the only question still remains, what sizes of ship can we build?
Well,
take a look.
capital ships, right? And it's already grey box. I mean, last year, Todd Papis did say that they were going to start working on bases right after CitizenCon, but there's so much work they've done in just a couple of in 1 year.
I want to see the reaction.
Come on! So... A Bengal?
No. Yes.
No! What? We're gonna make our own pen. Oh my. Okay, that's it. The right club is gone. We are going to merge with a very large org. I'll talk with other streamers. We'll be merging. Holy shit. Well, if we're thousands like Test Squadron, I don't think it's gonna take that much. Of course, linked stations, Scout Chat. Of course. And I am sure there will be orgs that will try to make an entire station around the planet.
Thanks, Ian. So now we're talking. Multiple stations linking and dry docks to craft your very own capital ships. The ultimate end goal for any org.
Huh.